Dave Ramsey's daughter, you've been exposed to financial principles at a very, very young age, right? So, can you maybe give us some insight as to what it was like growing up around, your father and your parents and all of these lessons that you learned, and maybe what was one of the most impactful lessons that you've carried on and that you're looking to pay forward into the future generations?
Yeah, I get this question a lot. As you could probably imagine, a lot of people ask me, like, oh my gosh, what was it like? And I think people have this idea in their head that if you're Dave Ramsey's daughter, that we talked about mutual funds all the time and had like budget camps in the summer and those kind of things. And thankfully, that was not the case. Mom and dad, I would say, were very normal when it came to all of this. I mean, yes, they were very intentional with teaching us. So I learned that. But, they did it really in the ebb and flow of life. It was never this like sit down seminar that we had on Saturdays talking about money. It was very much just in conversation, which I think that natural approach is probably the most helpful. I think you can get kind of legalistic when it's so formal and you're like, I've got to tell you these things, but when you just have great relationship with your kids and, you're just gonna be talking about life and money's part of life. And so they just didn't shy away from that subject. Like some parents may feel like, oh my gosh, am I adequate to talk about it? They just jumped right in. And yeah, there was, they did a great job on the tactical side. I mean, it was the classic like chore chart. We got paid a commission, not an allowance. So if you work, you get paid. If you don't work, you don't get paid. And, once we had the money, we had 3 jars and it was give, save, and spend. And you had to put money in each of the jars. They didn't even dictate how much to put in each. They kind of let us do it, but we had to put some money in each. And, so it was that kind of thing. We had to buy some toys on our own. Now, as we got older, I was given a checking account back in the day when you would actually like write a check. Like I had a checkbook and all of that. My friends didn't really have that. Their parents would just give them money, but I had to manage that as a teenager. So they did do these things, these steps to really prepare us. So when we left home, we had a grasp on how to do, even basic things like that, how to reconcile a checking account. So they did a really good job on that. But again, that's the tactical side, and then you have the emotional side of money, which we talked about a lot. When it comes to contentment, when it comes to generosity and having a spirit of giving and living with an open hand, how not to make money an idol and your stuff be the thing that you strive for, thinking that that's going to give me value. So there were those kind of conversations as well. So it was, they did a really great job with it. They really did. And again, as an adult, I feel like I continue to learn things about myself, when it comes to money and now having little kids of my own. So, yeah, but they did great. No mutual fund birthday parties in the Ramsey household.